Good evening everyone, it's Tanja from Tanja Kraus Horsemanship and you're joining me for Monday Night Live every Monday at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Tonight we are talking about the year in review. So I think it's a great time of year to be doing this. Obviously we're all starting to wind down, we're coming up to Christmas. So it's the year in review and how to start planning for an amazing 2018 with our horses. So I'm really looking forward to talking about that. I have finished up my clinics for the year. I did my last clinic for the year earlier this week up at Bangalore, and on the weekend I was on the Gold Coast. So I went Gold Coast, Bangalore, and then I headed home. So I'm really excited to be home, and I'm already spending a lot of time with my horses, and I've pulled Cooper in, I've pulled Galliano in. We've got the colt start coming up in early January. The 8th of January we kick off with the colt start. So that's going to be really exciting. Galliano is being restarted there with me, and Cooper will come along to be a buddy horse, and you know, I do a little bit off Cooper's back at the colt start. So I'm really looking forward to kicking off 2018 with an awesome course like a colt start. It's always tons of fun. And then after that we've got the 5-day Kickstart 2018 course. So tonight, all I want to talk about tonight is really reviewing 2017 in a way that has a positive impact on us. I know that some of us have had different things you know, happen this year. I know some of us have achieved amazing things. I know some of us haven't been able to spend too much time with our horses because of, you know, different circumstances, and I know that some of us have had a few, you know, not so great things happen along the way. So what I want to talk about is reviewing 2017 in a way that sets us up for a successful 2018. So I can see that people are joining. Holly is saying, "Hi Tanja, been applying stuff I picked up at your clinics, good results." Horse saying, "Now that makes sense." Oh, that's great. Thank you very much for that feedback. I really appreciate it. Holly was at the clinic, the Gold Coast clinic on the weekend. So I'm glad that that stuff's making sense to your horses. That's fantastic. So as you start logging in, please let me know you're here by clicking one of the icons or writing a comment just like Holly did, and let me know where you're watching from and that you've logged on, so I know that I can get into the nitty-gritty of tonight's topic. So celebrating 2017. So what I want to get started on is heading into 2018. I think it's really important for us to review 2017 and put closure around 2017. With regards to all of the stuff that we've had happen, like both in our personal lives, and obviously I'm here talking to you about your horse stuff in particular, we're all going to do things in a different way. But I do think it's really important to see the year out by writing down some of the things that you've achieved, and as many as you can remember, some of the positive things that have happened during the year, the achievements that you've had with the horse. And I like to separate it into two separate parts. So it's not only the achievements that you've had with your horse as a team, but it's also what have you learnt this year, how have you grown as a horse man or a horsewoman, and celebrating those things as well. Because sometimes, obviously, I mean, I know I've got 4 different horses, so I've got 4 different ways to, you know, 4 different achievements or lots of lists to write down for those 4 individual horses. But then I've got myself and how I've grown and what I've learned on my travels around and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's important to separate those 2 components and write a list for yourself and write a list for your horse. And celebrate all of the things along the way. We have to celebrate the small stuff. It's very important. And it may seem small to us, but it depending on where we're at in our journey, every small thing along the way is a step towards where we're going, or it's something that we've learned or something like that. So it's still worth celebrating. It's still worth writing down. I had someone at a clinic say to me on the weekend, and I can't even remember what the context was, but they said something like, oh, I managed to take my horse out to a different showground, and just the fact that I was able to ride her around, I was happy with that. And they said, oh, you know, I know that's not much, but it was big for us. And I said, no, it's huge. You know, every single moment along the way is something that we need to celebrate, and that's what keeps us motivated, and that's what keeps us going in terms of us, you know, humans thrive on progress. So acknowledging progress along the way is vital to us staying motivated and us wanting to, you know, aim for more and all the rest of it. Hey, Leah, welcome. Good news. I read your post just earlier about Stretch trailering on his own. That's really fantastic. Not so great about your Soteria grass problem, but it was actually really helpful for me to read that, because we've cracked a ton of Soteria, and I've got tons of other grass in the paddock, so it didn't really worry me too much, because I thought, oh, my horses won't eat the Soteria because there's plenty of other feed on tap. But obviously with your guy, he's ingesting a lot of the seeds and stuff like that, so that's definitely something to be aware of. Hi Hillary, thanks for joining. So the year has been absolutely huge. I know for most of us, we've had, you know, we might have been to heaps of clinics or been out and about with our horses. And when you start trying to think all the way back to January, it can be really challenging to think all the way back to January and think, oh, wow, what did we start the year with, and what was happening, and what have I done with my horse? So one of the tools that I find really helpful, and, you know, we're all different. I like to write lists out. I like to use big, thick, bright texters, and I get blank pieces of paper and I write stuff down on that, because I like, you know, that's just the way that I like to write notes and things like that. So you might want to type notes on your phone. You might want to voice record them. You might want to get bits of paper. You might want a pencil. You might want a lined book. It doesn't matter how you record this 2017 and all your achievements in 2017, but get yourself something that inspires you, not just some scrappy bit of paper or, you know, a napkin or something like that. Go and get yourself something that's pretty cool, because what I want you to do is write up all your achievements, and I want you to pop it up on the wall somewhere that you're going to see it pretty much every day from now until the end of the year. And so you can just look at that list and go, yeah, you know, it's been a great year. We have learnt a lot, and something that can help you along the way or remind you along the way, what I find really helpful is my photos on my phone. So your photos on your phone, you can press a button and they get categorized into the months. And so you can go all the way back to January, get your pen, get your piece of paper, go all the way back to January and go, right, you know, what photos have I taken? And you'll come across photos and go, oh, that's right, I went to that show, or I went to the beach, or I did this, or I did that. I know January for us, January this year, we started the year with a 2-week colt start and a 5-day course. So I know exactly where I was at the beginning of the year, and I know that those people, like now that I'm saying that, if they're watching or when they're watching this video, they're going to be like, oh, I was at the colt start, or yeah, that's right, that was in January, and the 5-day course as well, and so on and so forth. So go through your photos on your phone, go through your Facebook photos where other people have tagged you and things like that, and write down every single achievement and happy, exciting thing that you've done with your horses this year on a nice big list that you can put up somewhere. When you come across something that may not be fantastic, I think it's important, if you come across like a Facebook post where, you know, you might have been facing a challenge or a struggle, I think it's important to maybe look at that and try and find the positivity in it. You know, and I know that can be hard sometimes. I know that some things, it's really difficult to find, you know, something positive in it. And I understand that there are circumstances where you're just going to say there was nothing positive about it. So I do get that, and I don't want to sit here and say you can always find 100% of the time, you can always find something positive. But what I would like, I think it's powerful for us to try. So, you know, you come across that note on your phone or a message or a post or whatever it is, and you go, oh, that's right, that day that I missed out on that trail because my horse wouldn't get on the float, maybe that was the catalyst for you spending more time training with your horses at home. Maybe that was the catalyst for you saying, you know what, I need to go get some instruction, or I need to go to a clinic, or I need to learn how to get this done. And that was the moment where you decided to train your horse to get on the float properly, swiftly, every single time, and now he float loads all the time. So hopefully you're going to be able to find the positives in all of the things along the way, and multiple things like that. So please feel free to comment if you're thinking about things at the moment, and you're sort of going, oh, you know, we did our first beach ride today, or not today, this year, or we did our first group ride, or we did our first show, or we did our first ride, or we did, you know, whatever it was for you. Feel free to share. If you want to share, feel free to share it in the comments, and I'd love to see some of your comments about what you feel like your achievements have been this year. Hey Brett, thanks for joining. I think it's really important for all of us to share. I know that there's a lot of people starting to restart their TKH 100 journey, so we're getting a lot of sharing happening in there. And I know that in the TKH clinics peeps, we always have a lot of sharing and stuff going on in there as well. So please feel free to pop in the comments your achievements from this year. Brooke is saying, often bad or hard stuff is positive as a tool for the kit, but really scary sometimes trying to work your way through it. Absolutely. So, you know, that's a positive in itself. If you found yourself in a scary situation where you can say, you know what, I came out the other side, you know, I'm fine, my horse is fine. I learned in the situation what tools worked in my toolkit, what tools didn't work. I learned what I needed to go back and review, and you know, we came out the other side and we're a stronger relationship for it. So that's a perfect example of a way that you could find the positives in a negative situation, even though it may have been scary or something like that at the time. So that's great. Thanks for sharing that, Brooke. That's awesome. Then, as I said, pop your list on the wall somewhere where you're going to be able to read it. You know, even if it's just while brushing your teeth, pop it up on the, you know, pop it up on the bathroom mirror or next to the bathroom mirror, so you can just brush your teeth and go, yeah, you know, we did do all that stuff. It's really vital, I think, for us to be in a positive frame of mind before we start looking at 2018, because if we come into 2018 as a bit of a negative Nancy, then sorry Nancy, when you watch this, or if you're watching it now, you know, it's just a term, negative Nancy, Downer Debbie, Downer Dave. It's not against the people called those names at all. I had a comment the other day, so that's why I'm saying that. Brett is saying, restart after being lazy towards horsemanship, achieve the courage to attempt cantering after both having a spell. Yeah, that's fantastic. So that's a really cool thing for Brett to write on his list. You know, cantering is one of those things. We did a Monday Night Live on it only 2 weeks ago. It is one of those massive things that can be quite a milestone to overcome and achieve. So I love that that's on Brett's list. And as I said, write your list out, pop it up on the wall. As we are looking into what I'm going to do with you guys for our next Monday Night Live, which I haven't even checked actually. Is someone going to tell me that the next Monday is Christmas Day or something like that? Does anyone know what next Monday is? It probably is it? Holly's saying, horse and I went to a big 2-day clinic followed by a 2-day show, and the horse surprised her with a 4-day meltdown. Yeah. Once I got over the public nature... Okay, I can't, unfortunately, Holly, I can't read the rest of that, but I will read it after I come out the other side. And the rest of everyone else, I'm just trying to, I have a sneaking suspicion, I'm just trying to get my calendar up on my computer while you guys are here. I have a sneaking suspicion Christmas is Monday. Yes, so, okay. I will do a Monday Night Live. It won't be on Christmas Day because I know a lot of you will be with families and stuff like that, and I know we'll be celebrating here, of course. So I will pick another day. I'll probably do it on the Boxing Day. I think that's a pretty relaxed day. I won't make a final decision on that, but I will post it on my Facebook wall, because what I'm going to do with you guys next week for our Monday Night Live, we are going to do a goal setting. Okay, so what I want to talk about tonight is reviewing 2017, starting to think about what 2018 looks like for us. So before I go on that, Holly's saying continued. I did some thinking about how I could do things differently, work consistently on some small things, and have seen positive changes. So that's fantastic. You know, our horses do sometimes surprise us, or sometimes, you know, throw things out of the bag. I know that I was talking to Holly about that situation on the weekend. The horse had been to the venue before, she'd been to clinics before, she'd done all that, and it was surprising that the horse played up, and we discussed a few things that might have been the catalyst for her playing up, and Holly's obviously gone home and started working on a couple more things, so that's fantastic. Hillary's saying she's had an awesome year with Bess, so that's great. Bessie's her youngest horse, and Hillary just started riding her this year, so I've seen them both at a few clinics, which has been great to have them at some clinics. And yeah, you have had an amazing year. She's coming along really nicely. I'm excited to see what 2018 brings for the both of you. So as we talk about 2018, we've written our list, we've been looking at our list on the wall, we're going, yep, 2017 was pretty good. Even if you set goals at the beginning of the year and you haven't achieved those goals, it's really, really important not to just sit in, oh, well, I didn't do my goals, and so, oh, I'm coming at 2018 from a back, you know, a back position or whatever. It's really important to get ourselves into a positive frame of mind, get some positive reference points on that list, and get yourself thinking about the achievements that you have had in 2017 with your horse, because then next week I'm going to do a goal setting, sort of like a mini class with you for Monday Night Live. I'll do a goal setting class with you. I will be able to send you guys out workbooks on the night that you can use as a reference, and I'll be going through the workbook, and you might even have to pre-register for the class, so I can email the workbook to you, and then I'll take you through the workbook, and we'll talk about some of the things that we do for goal setting and all that sort of stuff. So, but before we start sitting down and writing out goals for 2018, what I want to talk about is, what does 2018 look like for you? What does success with your horse look like for you? And it can be on multiple levels. It can be on a confidence level. You know, I was reading a post the other day in one of the massive groups, like must have been the Horse Hub or something like that. And they, someone had written in there, what do you want to see from your instructor, or what are you trying to get from your instructor, or what are you hoping to get from your instructor, or a question like that, right? There was a substantial amount of comments. There was like well over, it was triple digits. I'm going to say it was well over 200 comments. But the huge majority of those comments was confidence. Confidence with my horse, confidence to ride, confidence to go out by myself, confidence to ride in a group, confidence to go to the beach, confidence to go to the show. It was just confidence. So sometimes we look at goal setting for 2018 or the year, and we sort of go, oh, I want to, you know, I want to compete in dressage, or I want to do working equitation, or I want to do, and we think of the discipline that we want to do, but what I want you to think about is how. You know, you could all go out and do working equitation tomorrow. All of us could, but is your horse ready? Are you ready? Would it be a nerve-wracking, anxious experience for the both of you, or are both of you cool, calm, and collected? So when you start thinking about what 2018 looks like for you, what does it look like? Enjoyable, confident, happy, spending more time with my horse, spending more time, you know, doing leisurely things with my horse, like trail riding or beach riding, or just spending time with friends on the weekend? Does it look like I want to have a huge education year, so I want to do as many clinics as I can? Does it look like I need to, I want to start doing competing in a specific discipline, so I want to get out there and learn everything I can about this discipline, etc., etc. What does it look like for you, and what do you want to achieve for 2018? What does, again, separate it? So what do you want to achieve as a horseman or woman? Are you wanting to, you know, get more education for yourself, learn how to do a specific thing? Maybe you want to learn how to trick ride. Maybe you want to learn how to do show jumping or eventing. Maybe you want to learn how to ride Western style. Maybe you want to learn how to ride English style. I don't know. But for you personally, what is your own personal development? I think it's really important for us to have an overall view of what 2018 looks like for us on a personal level and a personal growth level concerning our horsemanship. And then what does 2018 look like for your horse? Are you wanting to compete at a higher level in a particular discipline? Do you want him to have, or her to have, more confidence out on the trail? Are you wanting to ride out in big groups? Are you wanting to ride the bicentennial trail and take a couple of pack horses? What does it look like for you, and what are you looking to achieve personally and with your horse? I like to start planning now. So once you've got your 2017 year in review list done, what I want to start doing is then thinking about, what does 2018 look like? What are some of the things that I'd like to achieve? And I can start jotting them down. So then next week, when we go through the goal setting workbook, and we go through the actual way that we're going to sit down and write goals, and how to word them, and how the language works, and how to make sure that we're not going to just write them down and put the book aside and never look at it again. Before we get into the serious writing, goal setting, structured way of planning out 2018, we need to just let the ideas wash over us. Like I said, it's a busy time of year. We're probably shopping and Christmas shopping and planning presents and things like that. But every now and then you'll look at your horse, or you'll be out on your horse, and you'll go, oh geez, I'd love to XYZ. And you can go, oh, there's something. I'll write that as a note in my phone, or I'll use the voice memos on my phone so I don't forget that. And then you'll start to build a bit of a picture of what 2018 looks like for you, and how you're going to, what sort of things you're going to be putting on your list for 2018. So Brooke is saying, already trying to get ready for next year, walking and running in the evening. If I expect him to give me his best, I need to be my best for him. So that's fantastic. That's really cool, Brooke. And I'm the same. This year seems to be, I know last year I was behind. Like, I didn't even start thinking about the year until the year was sort of done. Until the first month was done, until the January was kind of over. We were already well and truly in the year, and I was like, oh man, I need to sit down and I need to think about what I want to achieve in 2017. But this year there almost seems to be a little bit of a common theme running in the air, where a lot of people I talk to we're already thinking about next year now. It's the 19th of December and we're already thinking, what do I want to do in 2018? What does 2018 look like for me? So that's really cool. Yeah. Brett, Garacha training. Yeah, so that's a really fun one. A really cool thing to put on your list for 2018. Absolutely. So I know that we're all going to have a lot of lists personally as well. So, we might have work goals, or relationship goals, or health goals, and all that kind of stuff. So, again, it depends on how your mind works, how, some people need a big whiteboard on the wall. Some people like a big vision board. Some people like to write in a little notepad. Some people like to write notes on their phone and then screenshot it and then have it as a screensaver. But we're going to talk about all those kind of ideas next week in the goal setting mini class, or whatever we call it, the Monday night live goal setting course, which we'll do next week. And as I said, it won't be on Monday because that'll be Christmas. I know it won't be on Christmas Eve, and I will consider doing it on Boxing Day, but I know that Boxing Day is generally a pretty big one for most of us in terms of recovering and just wanting to sleep and things like that. So it might even be on that Wednesday. And like I said, I'll probably get everyone to pre-register so I can send out workbooks via email, and you can actually print them out and have them there ready to work with on the class. So at the moment, just let 2018 wash over you, and all the thoughts of it wash over you, and think about, what do I want to do? What does it look like for me on my horse? But most importantly, for tonight, please feel free to comment and say what your achievements have been this year, and write that achievements list, and pop it on the wall, pop it somewhere that is somewhere that you're going to look every day, and you'll be able to just glance through it and go, yep, you know, sit in that really nice positivity. So then when we're writing our goals next week, you're approaching those goals in a positive way. So I hope that this Monday Night Live helped you start to think about 2017 and review 2017. And like I said, next week we're going to get into the nitty gritty of goal setting and actually sitting and planning it all out. It might be a record. It might be my shortest Monday Night Live ever. Which is pretty exciting, and I'm really excited. Please feel free, actually, while I've got you guys here, please feel free to inbox me anything that you'd like to see from TKH. We've got some really cool stuff planned for 2018, and all of it is centered around value adding to you guys, getting more content out to you, getting more information out to you, getting as much stuff out to you as we can to help you with your horses. We've got books in the works, we've got more DVDs in the works, we've got more filming in the works, we've got other stuff that's happening. So 2018 is absolutely going to rock for TKH. Lisa's saying, back on track with Harry. Oh yeah, because he was sore at Cabarita. Still maintained our collection, now reflecting on how far you've come. I know, that was pretty cool. I can't even remember if that was this year that we were up on the Gold Coast earlier or whether it was late last year, Lisa, but yeah, you and Harry have come a huge long way together. It's been really fun having you at clinics. I look forward to having you more next year and seeing you guys more next year as well. So I hope everyone has an absolutely amazing week with their horses. Thank you so much for joining me on this Monday Night Live. Please share it with anyone who may be interested, because it's kind of like a little mini, obviously the year in review is pretty important in terms of our goal setting for next week. So anyone who might be interested in the goal setting that we're going to do next week, please share this video with them or tag them in this video, and feel free to keep on commenting, because I do check the comments after we finish. And let me know if there's anything that you'd really love to see happening at TKH in 2018, and we'll have a look at it for you, because we're in the middle of planning some really cool, exciting stuff, so I can't wait. Thanks for joining me, and I hope everyone has an awesome week, and I will talk to you all soon.